Welcome back everybody. This is just going to be a really quick little video today to share some thoughts and ideas I've had on my woodland and my landscape photography. And maybe they'll help you think about things in a slightly different way, or you have your own ideas on what I'm sharing here today. It'd be really great to hear them. So feel free to get involved with the conversation and leave some comments. It's always really interesting to hear about other people's experiences, and it's great to kind of start up a conversation about it. And what I wanted to talk about today is the idea of sharpness in your landscape and woodland images. Now, I'm not talking about in focus. More often than not, you're going to want to make sure your images are in focus. But this idea of sharpness, or more accurately softness, is a really subtle difference, which I didn't really consider when I was first starting out. When I was first starting out, I was just thinking pin sharp images, really, really sharp, lots of clarity, high contrast. That's what made an impactful image. It has this initial wow factor of, oh, everything's sharp. But sometimes that's not really what you want, and that's not what's really going to bring out the best in a scene. Okay, I'm just going to get a few images in this area, and then I'll take a little break and I'll talk to you a little bit more about some of the ideas I've had. But what we've got here, we've got all these amazing autumn colours. All the bracken's just starting to turn brown, it's just starting to wither a bit. And also the leaves are going on all the trees. So we've got this nice explosion of kind of yellows and orange colours. Earlier today we had a little bit of fog, a bit of mist. It's nearly all gone now. We've still got a little bit hanging around, but it's just a great little scene. I'm going to try and get some images here and make use of all these great colours that we've got. All right, I'll put some images up there and then I'll join you in a minute and I'll talk about some of these ideas I've had about softness in your images. Okay, so I actually managed to find a few new compositions today, and I revisited a couple of old ones as well. And I think I'll come back to them when we've got a bit more fog and a bit more mist hopefully soon. There was a little bit of mist this morning, but it really quickly disappeared. It didn't stay around as long as I was hoping for. But yeah, I'll revisit them soon. But yeah, what I wanted to quickly share with you today is just this idea of approaching scenes a bit differently. Because if you're like me, when you first started out, I got a bit obsessed with this idea of really clear, really sharp, really contrasty images. And I thought that's what made a good, impactful image. Now, in some situations, that is true, but quite often in your landscape images and your woodland images, you want the opposite. And that's because I kind of changed the way I was looking at scenes. I used to approach them all the same. I was like, right, I'm at my scene, going to take a nice photo, and that was it. And I didn't think about it a bit more deeply. But instead, when I kind of approached the scene a bit more calmly and I thought, what are the characteristics of this scene? What is it I want to bring out in this image? And what's the kind of feeling I want the viewer to have when they see this image? And when I started flipping that around and thinking about scenes more individually and by their character, that's when this idea of softness also became quite important. Now, softness is really important in your woodland images. It creates this nice magical feeling to them, and this softness which we kind of associate with the woodlands. It's kind of a relaxing place to be. Now, some of the ways you can achieve that are, of course, using the weather. As I mentioned just previously, using fog and mist, if you've got it, is one of the best ways to achieve this. It creates this nice diffusion. It softens down all of the kind of harsh edges around the trees and the leaves. And it just creates this nice magical glow to the image, which really, really suits woodland. And I've actually just recently made a video about how you can maybe increase your chances of predicting when there might be fog, including an app which I use. So I'll link that above, and if you're interested, you can check it out. Now, the softness can also be introduced in post-production as well. So when you go back to editing your images, and you can bring down the clarity, you can add in a little bit of dehaze as well. But what I think I'll do is I'll create a new video soon all about how I introduce softness once I've got back to the editing process. Because again, when you get back to editing, it can be really tempting to crank the clarity up, crank the sharpness up, and that's not actually what you always want to do. Another way that you can introduce softness in your images is by using rain as well. Now rain's really good. It's not quite as effective as fog, but coming out in the rain can be really good. It can create this kind of different kind of diffusion between your lens and between your subject. And it really helps kind of blend some of the colours together and soften your background as well. So coming out in the rain can also be really good. I know that sounds a bit crazy if you don't like coming out in the rain, but trust me, it can do really, really great things for your images. But yeah, overall, I just wanted to get across this point of approaching your scenes differently and not being obsessed with sharpness, not being obsessed with clarity, and sometimes thinking when would actually a little bit of softness being introduced into the image actually help bring out its characteristics a bit more. But yeah, this was just a really, really quick video today. I hope that's been useful, and I hope that kind of helps open up a conversation about softness in your images as well. So if you have some comments on that, please feel free to leave them below. But anyway, I'll be back soon with some new videos. We've got all these amazing autumn colours, so I'll be out and about very soon. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting and useful, and if you have, I'd ask if you could hit the like, the subscribe and the notification bell. I've got some more videos coming for you soon. So thank you as always, and I'll join you next time. Thank you.